Hey, Deshaun. Hey, Miss Jamila. Hi, Melody. How are you? How are you guys doing? Thank you so much for being here. Let me make sure my mic is on. Okay, I think my mic is on. Hey, nephew. How are you? So good to see you. How is everyone doing? Thank you so much for joining me. Hello, everyone. Hey, Alice. Hey, Jules. How are you? Can you hear me okay on Facebook and on YouTube? Can you hear me okay? Hi from Cincinnati. Hi, Mindy. Hi, Melanin. Hey, Miss Shirley. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I wanted to make sure the mic was turned up high. How is everyone doing? So good to see you today, Miss Shirley. It was such an honor to see you. Hi, Vivian. LaGordy, how are you? Maurice, how are you doing? Hey, Pop Pop, how are you doing? Good to see you. Hi, Jennifer. How are you doing? Hi, Trina. Good evening to you as well. Is that Teekum? Hi, Teekum. How are you? Thank you so much for being. Hi, Jacqueline from Cleveland, Ohio. I see you. Hi, Terry. How are you doing? Deshelle A. Robinson, Santa Barbara, California. I'm going to be in Los Angeles, California on July 29th. I hope to see you there. You're so welcome, Miss Vivian. How are you doing? Okay, I can't pronounce that. It's a bunch of letters. If you would just tell me how to pronounce that, it looks like RXSES. RXS. Please tell me how to pronounce that, and I will make sure to say it. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Hi, Tina. It's Tina. Hi, Tina. New Orleans. Okay, New Orleans, I see you. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for being here. I came on a little early. I got back a little early, so I wanted to get on a little early because I hadn't had any sleep. Uh, I was up with my girls last night doing hair, and then I got like 2 hours of sleep, so I'm tired today. Girl gone fabulous. Go ahead, girl. And Misty Fuentes. Hi, Kelly. New Donna Rises. How are you doing, sir? Good to see you. And then you're smiling on your picture. How are you doing, sir? Good to see you. Hi, Nikki Red. Oh, roses are red. Okay. Girl, I was gonna be all fancy with your name. Girl, I was gonna be all fancy with that. Hi, Atlanta. How are you doing? Good to see you all tonight. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for coming on. I'm just waiting for Just Be Real and then we'll get started. Nikki Red, you're a new subscriber. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much. I'm honored. Thank you so much for being with me this evening. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right. Let's see. I'm just waiting for Just Be Real. Thank you guys so much for being here. Sorry I couldn't be with you guys last week. I had the flu. Going into summer, I got the flu. Can you believe that? Got the flu. And so I wasn't able to come on. I was curled up in bed, hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold. I almost created a hurricane in my bedroom. Had the I had the air conditioner on, then I had the heater on, then I had the ceiling fan on. Hey there, Miss Karen, how are you? Aloha to you. That's Auntie Karen. But so I had the flu last week, so I apologize. I was not able to come on or say anything to you guys. I didn't want to touch the phone. I didn't want to look at the phone. I was curled up in my blanket, had the heat in my face and fan blowing. So, but I'm back. I'm back. Hello, everybody. So I am back. Hopefully, you guys have went to go look and register for my upcoming conference, July 29th in California. I'm going to be in Los Angeles, California at the Sonesta, and I have some fabulous speakers. I have a trauma professional that I'm bringing on. As a new speaker, and she is Dr. Paula Tucker, and she is a traumatic brain injury researcher. and she's going to be on board with us. Apostle Sadler's going to be with us. My sister Kathy Gibson's going to be with us. My sister Bridget Griffin, who is a domestic violence advocate, is going to be there, and that is for general session. And then for VIP at general session, you'll get to see Telsha with the T on MPD, Tasha Leland, who is Confessions of a Christian Girl, and that will be for our evening session, which is the VIP session is a formal session with dinner and the round table, and you can ask us whatever you want to ask us. They're going to be on the table to talk to you if you want to talk to them personally. But we're going to have one-on-ones with you right there at the conference. And so, and the night before, which is that Friday, I usually do a meet and greet with all my VIPs. Some of you have already registered. So please know I will send you an email to give you more information and the hotel link so you can get your hotel room. But I would really love to see you guys. If you can't be there in person, you can always come on Zoom. I do have Zoom available, and that will be for general session. So you guys will get to see general session, and that's from 8 to 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And then I think it's from 7 to 11 p.m., which is VIP, which is not broadcasted. But that is VIP with a formal dinner. We get to wear our fancy little formal gowns and stuff, and we can be all cute and things. But I really would love for you guys to come out there, especially you guys that are in the California area. You know, I'm in your area. Come on out there. July 29th, you can go to overcomingnarcissistabuse.ticketleap.com and get yourself a ticket. Whether you, hey there, who is that? I don't have my glasses on, so hold on, let me get closer to you. Miss Aikens. Hey there. How are you doing? Um, let's see. Let's look here. Hey, JM. Let's look. Living Life 11. Okay, hey there. Larissa and Ross Marlin. How are you? From Connecticut. Okay. But yes, I really want to see you guys at this conference. This conference is going to be amazing. It is unpackaging the trauma. And listen, every conference that I do concerning trauma, I'm telling you, people leave out of there different. You're not going to, there's some things that I don't talk about on social media. And I know you're thinking to yourself, what could you not be talking about on social media? You put a lot of information out there. Those of you that have registered for the courses that I have done recently, and those of you that have been to my conference, a lot of the ladies on here have been to my conferences, even if it was online. A lot of, I wish you could be there too, sir. We need some men there. We had men there last year, and it was fabulous because they were able to talk about their experiences, so the women can hear firsthand what men went through with a narcissist, and some of the things, they got encouragement, and we got encouragement from the men. And I really would love for you guys to be out there too. But listen, I'm telling you, there are some things that you're just not going to get from social media. There's some things that I just don't talk about on YouTube, and things I don't talk about on Instagram, that when you come to like my personal classes, when I do class courses, or when I do these conferences, you get a lot of information. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put together a clip where you can hear each of the speakers speak momentarily, so you can see the type of information that is coming out there at these conferences. But I promise you this, when these people have come to my conferences, they'll tell you their life has changed because we're hitting it right where you are. And we're going to be talking about some generational trauma. We're going to talk about sexual trauma. We're going to talk about childhood trauma. There she goes. Hey, Just Marie, I was just waiting for you. Thank you so much for being here. I was just waiting for Just Be Real to come on, so I was just talking. But we're going to be talking about generational trauma. We're going to be talking about sexual abuse, domestic violence. We're going to be talking about childhood abuse, and how people think, and how you ended up in certain situations that you ended up in. Miss Shirley has come to my conferences, and she said it was phenomenal. Just Be Real, who is my moderator and my assistant, she's been to all my conferences, and she said the same thing. They're different every year, but you're always going to get something out of it. And then the ladies that have joined me for these courses, I've got 2 courses that I just did. The first one was processing through your grief and your loss after narcissist abuse, and we're talking about 16 different types of grief, and some of you haven't processed through them yet. And then the 7 stages of grief. And then just 2 weeks ago, last week, we did I think it was breaking free, or breaking free of codependency. And there's a lot of things that people didn't realize are signs that you are codependent, that you're not a martyr, that you're not, that I believe in taking care of my family first and doing this first and doing this first. No, some of that stuff is codependency. When you're so enmeshed with another person that you don't know where they stop and where they end and you begin. And so the first course is already out. The second course, I'm still editing. And those of you that did come to the course, were at the course, I apologize because I was going to do the workbook for the course. I didn't get a chance to do it because I wasn't feeling good when I was on camera as it was. But that Monday, I was going to finish the workbook and send the workbook out. So those of you that actually were in the course with me, give me tomorrow. I have some off time, and I'm going to finish up the workbook so I can send you guys the workbook that you guys didn't get. But once I upload it to my academy, the workbook is included in the course. So let's get started tonight, okay? Mindy, you know what? You need to come out to Los Angeles, California. I'm right as soon as you get off the airplane. You don't have to go too far. You don't have to travel too far. The semester is right there at LAX. And what I was going to do was I was going to try to stay maybe like another day or two. And then the next day I wanted to go to the Wax Museum. So if you guys would like to join me, I was going to go to the Wax Museum. Then we go get something to eat. And then I wanted to do like the tour of the stars' homes. And so if you guys would like to join me that next day, that's not an extra cost to you. I mean, the only thing that you have to pay is like your transportation to get there. And, for the Wax Museum, and then of course for the tour of the stars home. And then we'll just go and we'll just, spend some time together. So not only are you going to get the conference, VIP gets to have a meet and greet that Friday evening. And then that Sunday, we'll do it like that Sunday. We'll go out and we'll go and explore Hollywood. Let's look at Hollywood. I've been by the Star Walk of Fame. I've been there, but I didn't know it was that little. But I've been there. But I would like to go to the Madam. I can't pronounce her name, but that Wax Museum, and I would like to do the tour of the stars' homes. So if you guys would like to join me, it would be great. Thank you so much, Miss Shirley. You said the conference is great. Bring tissue, but you learn a lot. Thank you. Yes, bring lots of tissue. Yeah, bring lots of tissue. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get started. The topic for tonight is, what do you keep justifying? And let me know. You guys ready? You ready to do this? Just like I do in my videos. You ready? All right. Well, let's do this. So let's look at what justification is. I pulled up the definitions, and I said, let me just put it in my own words. Okay. When you start justifying, you're kind of making up excuses as to why something has to be right. Something may be wrong, but you're justifying as to why it might be right. Not only you justifying, you're also taking away the responsibility of the other person for what they're doing, whether it's wrong or right. Everything has a consequence, positive or negative consequences. And so a lot of times you find yourself justifying. So let me start in this place, and this is from early child development. Through the stages of development with children. A lot of people are not knowingly raising narcissists. And a lot of you are parenting. That's why I have this parenting course that I'm going to be doing. It's a 10-module course. And this very topic is this is just pieces and parts of what I'm going to be talking about. You got children, you got little Bobo and little man, or whoever they are, and this generation, I don't know what happened to this generation, but they're not even raising their own kids. They weren't raised. Their parents didn't raise them. Some of them narcissists, some drug addicts, whatever, and so they don't know how to raise their own children. So when they get into the public, they just automatically assume that everyone is going to watch their kid while their kid runs buck wild, in the public. People don't even want to invite you places anymore because your child is tearing up stuff, tearing down curtains, tearing down cakes, running and jumping and sliding under stuff. Their liability to the establishment that they're at. They're running and hiding under tables. And your justification is they're only 2 years old. They're just a baby. No, parents, that's what you're failing at. Because what you're doing is you're showing your child there are no consequences to their behaviors. You're not putting your foot down. You tired. So if you tired of your child, imagine how many people are tired of your child. And not only just tired of your child, they tired of you. Madame Tussauds Wax. Thank you. Madame Tussauds Wax Museum. I was trying to make it even more fancy. Thank you so much, Jules. It's Madame Tussauds Wax Museum. That's where I would like to go. Please, I want you guys to come out there so we can hang with each other. But listen, But you got children that are just buck wild. You got these little kids talking to adults any kind of way. They cussing these children are cussing grown folks out. Now I know some of you guys are not from the South. You don't believe in yes sir and no ma'am. My kids do. And one of the things that I tell my children, even as an adult, I do it. I do it as an example, and I do it. And I learned it from the military. I didn't learn it from my family. But one thing that I learned is yes, ma'am, and no, sir. Good manners opens up a lot of doors and gets you a lot of favor. But some of these kids walking around calling adults by their first name, because that's okay. One thing, I don't play with children. You ain't gonna call me by my first name. The first thing I'm gonna ask is, did we graduate together? Did we go to school together? Because you're gonna put a Miss Carmen, a Miss Bryant, a Dr. C. At church, they call me First Sergeant. You're going to call me First Sergeant, Miss First Sergeant. You're going to put some respect behind my name. And some of you, and that's not all of you, but some of you, these young people, you're raising up narcissists and you're justifying it by saying, I'm tired. They're a handful. You should have thought about that before you had kids. They're just children. You have to let children be children. You can let children be children. Yeah, calling the adults the B word. Talk to me. See what I'm talking about? I didn't come from that generation. You get popped in the mouth by everybody. And then everybody that popped you in the mouth gonna go tell your parents that they did it, and then your parents gonna pop you in the mouth. And so I don't know what this generation is nowadays, but you're raising up narcissists. You're raising up untrained children. And you're justifying it because they're children. Some of you are guilt parenting. You're guilt parenting because you're afraid that the narcissist is going to take your child away. You're afraid that they're going to love the narcissist more than you. So you're making the mistake by letting them do whatever. You're the fun parent. But what you don't realize is that they're growing up with no respect for you. They prefer to be with the parent, and it's not in all circumstances, not all cases, but they have more respect for the parent that put their foot down and wouldn't let them get away with anything. Because as they get older, that narcissist does not become number one in their life unless they already have the traits of narcissism in them. And then they still won't get along with the narcissist. You'd be surprised. Your children are not going to stay little forever. But the thing about it is that some of you are trying to win them over the wrong way. And so you're not teaching them any consequences to their actions. So the things that you won't do while they're children is what they're going to learn when they get older. That's why they end up joining gangs when they get older, because a gang may wreak havoc and they may do a lot of chaotic stuff. But one thing you can say about a gang is regimented. They have hierarchy. They have rules in place. And if you break those rules, there is consequences to breaking the rules and not following the orders and not being respectful to the hierarchy within the gang. And so you're not teaching your children any type of consequences or hierarchy in your own house. They got this new thing out now, and I'm not knocking it. I'm not knocking it because some of us, we needed it. That gentle parenting. And I understand in some cases you don't be hollering and screaming at your child going to school nervous because you nervous and you hollering and screaming. Get your big head down here and put your clothes on before. Don't make me come. You gonna make me buy. You gonna get your. And the kids already nervous. They nervous going to school nervous because you talk too much. You holler. Why are you sending your kids nervous to school? The kids already nervous. You know what I mean? And you hollering, and so they starting off their day horrible. They ain't got nothing in their stomach. They nervous because you hollering before you get out the car. So I can understand the concept of gentle parenting. But in my course that I'm coming up with, I'm gonna implement some strategies. But the first thing I'm gonna do, and these strategies actually come from, if you go look at the book, it's called 1, 2, 3 Magic. If you ever watched the show The Nanny implements those concepts in the way that she helps parents parent. And the first thing she addresses is what the parent is doing before what the child is doing. If you watch The Dog Whisperer, he actually implements these concepts, these strategies in training the dog, because you're not really training the dog, you're training the human. You're having to change the human mindset or the parental mindset in order to change the behavior of the child. And you'd be surprised that when you change your behavior and stop justifying your children's behavior, because what you're doing, you're setting your kids up for failure. And what is happening is as the kids are getting around people and you can't watch them every moment, as they're growing up and when they're around people, the one thing that you're going to find out is that a lot of times, because of the fact that you won't parent your child, people will try to hurt your child on purpose because of the fact that and you get mad when people say something to little Bobo and little Man. You get upset when they correct your child. You don't say nothing to my child. If your child is over here tearing up my stuff, I'm gonna say something to your child, and then I'm gonna say something to you. If your child is over here pinching me or scratching me, or your child's biting me, or they're digging in my purse, or they coming over here hitting me, we gonna have a problem because I'm gonna say something to your child. Matter of fact, I'm gonna pick your child up and bring your child over to you. And so people tend to get angry because they don't want anybody saying anything to their child. But you're gonna pay the consequences when your child gets older and they have no respect for any kind of authority, no respect for police, no respect for authority, no respect for anybody in a not a teacher's role, but anybody in a position of authority, and no respect for anybody in a position of law, teachers, instructors, police officers, red lights. They have no respect for authority because they have no respect for you. You think that you're being your child's friend. And that's the problem. Parents are trying to be their children's friend before they're a parent. You are always a parent first. If you don't parent your child, you're setting your child up, baby kids, yeah? If you don't parent your child and make sure that your child understands that there are consequences, a lot of them even go into the schools, and the problem in the school is some of these teachers are mistreating your children too, and you know it because you saw it on camera. You got to see it on camera on Facebook, but you justify it. Well, they came from a hard background and they seen me go through a lot, and they watched their father or their mother beat on me, and they've watched this, and so I just want to have it. I'm just trying. You know what? But you're making a mistake, because loving your child is not allowing your child to do anything. And when they get out here in public and they get around folks, you wonder why people don't want to invite you nowhere. You the problem. You is the problem. You the problem. You the common denominator, and you the problem. You the problem. Stop justifying your child's behavior and correct your child. Correcting your child. I know old school. I come from old school. My daddy was old school. Used to beat the brakes. So I ain't got brakes on my feet now. I slip and slide wherever I go. Mr. Bryant, he didn't play that. He didn't play disrespectful kids. He did not play that. So I ain't got no brakes on my feet. For those of you that don't understand what it means, I need you to go look up on Google at the African American colloquialism. Beating the brakes off of someone does not mean you're abusing them. My daddy tore that behind up. I don't have any brakes on my shoes. I ain't had no brakes on my shoes since I was little. Slide. I got to slide. I got to give Mr. Bryant didn't play that. And I'm a respectful person. I respect my elders, and I'm a respectful person. I don't have a problem with the law. And you have to think about it. Narcissists have a problem with the law. The law don't apply to them. Rules don't apply to them. Policy don't apply to them. You know where that started from? It started from childhood. Some people are over-parenting. Some people were under-parenting. Some of them weren't even there to parent. They were left on their own to do whatever they were going to. That's why I got that course coming out. So when I got that course coming out, some of you parents need to watch. You need to go on here and you need to be a part of this course, whether you do it live or you come back and purchase it after I post it on my academy. Now, that's one justification. Now, we got some other justifications. You're justifying, and I've had somebody, I'm not going to say yell at me because they kind of yelled at me on Facebook, but it let me know where their mindset was at. And the thing that the person said is that, first of all, when I got married for better or worse. I got married till death do us part. Let's just meditate on that for a minute. Till death do you part, and you may be with a malignant narcissist that has no problem. If I can't have you, can't nobody have you, and they don't have a problem. In the most dangerous time for someone to come out of a situationship like this is when you're leaving, and they think that narcissist thinks you're leaving, and you're gonna take those kids, and you're reading in the news how some of these people that were psychopaths and sociopaths unalive their entire families. I remember this story that those of you that know Apostle and follow Apostle on Facebook, she told this story, and she's told this story for years. And I think she was a young minister at the time, where there was this young lady who was a minister in the church. She used to preach in the church, and she was married to this guy that was abusing her, thoroughly abusing her. And she would tell this lady that she needed to get away from him. She needed to get out of the situation. And the elders, the mothers of the church, the elders told her that she needed to stay, and she needed to keep praying, and she needed to stay and marriage. I think she said that she preached, went home and unalived her. Not just unalived her, but cut her in pieces in front of her little children, her children, and threw her over the balcony. I think he went to prison. She said he went to prison, and when he was released to prison, the kids were released back to him. Do you know how traumatized those children are? I can only imagine what happened to their mental state. Let me tell you something. The one thing you don't want to do, which is you got to be careful. Bishop T.D. Jakes, Bishop R.C. Blake's, my pastor, my mother, my Apostle Helen Sadler, and several other pastors that I've heard before have said that in the beginning, when they were young ministers, they would tell the people, you can't get a divorce. God hates divorce. But the same God that you serve, you mean to tell me he hates divorce, but it's okay to beat on your wife or beat on your children, to sexually exploit or sexually what's the word I'm looking for? Violate your children, to be beaten in front of your children, to be wounded in front of your kids. You mean to tell me that he much rather have you stay in a situation like that? And then you wonder why people don't want to believe in God whatsoever, because I'm not going to serve the God that you serve if he's telling you to stay in that situation. It's ignorant. Be careful when people tell they don't know your situation, they don't know what's going, they don't even take the time to get to know your situation, and they're telling you that you need to stay and you need to make it work. It takes two people to make a relationship work. It takes two people. If you don't believe in divorce, separate. Go to a shelter. Separate. Get away from that fool, because you don't know what they're going to do to you or your children. Stop justifying it and stop. You can't use religion to justify it. Even all these pastors that I just mentioned said that in the beginning they used to think the same way until they got experience. Now they tell them to leave in a heartbeat. Bishop Jake said it. Bishop R.C. Blake said it. Apostle Helen Sadler said it. Some other pastors said it. You know, um, but the thing is that they even said it. I'm not gonna tell you to stay in a dangerous situation. You don't know, and sometimes you have been so desensitized by that narcissist that you don't believe that they'll actually go through. If they say it, they'll go through with it. It may be a matter of time, but if they said they're gonna do it, they're gonna do it. If they tell you they're gonna unalive you, you better believe it, and don't just throw it out like, no, they always say that. No, 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 no. They're testing your level. They're testing to see how much you can take. But trust you me, if they said it, their mind is already set on it. And your best bet is to stop justifying that. Stop justifying it. If it's dangerous, why would you want to stay there? Why whoever you serve, whoever your higher being is, if they're telling you to stay, if that's the rule, and you're being injured and hurt, your children are being violated, and you're watching your children being injured too, that's ignorance. Ignorance is lacking knowledge. That's just pure stupidity. That's crazy. That's crazy. You see what I'm saying? Magical thickness is a waste of your brain. Go ahead, let it something. That's what I'm talking about. Stop justifying that. Then there are other ones, till death do us part. I'm gonna stay to sickness and health. I'm not gonna leave just because they're going through something. They're gonna go through it for the rest of their life. And the older they get, the worse it's gonna get for you. You can stay, but don't complain. You can stay, but don't come back asking for answers. Don't come back asking anybody to help you and how to manage a narcissist. Can't manage a narcissist. Cannot manage the narcissist. Hope is the last thing to go. And a lot of people justify staying like they're going through something. Then you justify what they've been through. Yeah, they've probably been through hell. Some of these narcissists, oh my God, if you could hear some of the stories, some of the things that they have been through. This one lady that I know was a narcissist. Her mother trafficked her as a child. She was only 2, 3 years old. She was sex trafficked. Trafficked. Yeah, that. She was selling her child, then hit her on top of the head and cracked her skull. I think it was at the front or the back, cracked her skull open. It wouldn't even go get medical attention for her. She had to suffer with a cracked skull as a child until it healed back over. Got no kind of medical and had brain damage. Had brain damage. And you justifying. You're thinking in your heart, you're believing, because I've seen them different. What you saw was an illusion. What you saw was a calling card to pull you in. That was not real. The closer you got, the more you realize it was an illusion in the desert. It wasn't real. It was a mirage. And all it was is a calling card. It was a switching, what is the bait and switch? That's all it was, to pull you in. But that person never existed. That person was developed because they listened to you. When you build rapport and you date somebody and you get to know someone and they're listening to your story, they were listening to your heartaches. They were listening to the holes in your heart, and they created this. You gave them the script to the play. You gave them the script to the movie. They chose the character, and then they made that character come alive. They created a character to fit into that moment with you. That's why you say that they're not the same person when they go to another supply. No, because they have a different script than you do. And so they need to know their script, and then they play the character for that script. So they're not the same the way that they were with you. They're different because that other person has a different hole in their hearts. So you've given them the script and they played this role to pull you in. And now you keep like a crackhead, like a meth addict, you keep running after that high, that first high. You'll never get that first high. You'll never meet that person that you met in the very beginning. You're not going to meet that person. That person never existed. And you keep running your hope. Your hope is that I've seen them before. I know what it's like. When it's good, it's good. And when it's bad, it's bad. That's the justification. How bad do it got to get before you realize it's bad? You can't put a little pee in some water and then be like, well, it's diluted enough where there's no more pee in the water. You put some pee in the water, the pee's still in the water. You put a little, poison in the water. Don't matter how much you dilute it, the poison is still in the water. You don't drink the water. They don't ever change. Stop justifying. And you're justifying, but they had a bad life. And I understand. And I've been there. And who am I to judge? You need to judge and protect yourself and your children because it's going to get bad. And if you have kids, you're producing supply for them. That's what you're doing. You're producing supply. And not only are you producing supply, you could be producing supply that's going to end up turning into a narcissist, developing narcissistic personality disorder. You stressed out, the baby's stressed out inside of your womb, and the baby comes out with colic and crying and won't be quiet and stomach problems. Some of you guys are going through that. Well, I just don't eat right. No, he's stressing you out. I was reading somewhere about fibroids, and although it's not 100%, 100%, they said that stress causes fibroids. There's a cause, a link to stress and fibroids. And they did a study, and they said that I think it was 26% of young girls that was growing up in stress and abuse and trauma and sexual abuse developed fibroids. And then when you develop fibroids, some of you become sterile, can't have kids, or have to have a hysterectomy at an early age. You see what I'm talking about? So you can't justify for them. Some of you justify because I don't have anywhere to go. Now, some of that is actually truth. Some of you have no support system. You have no money because they took all your money. You may be disabled, so you can't really go anywhere. But where there's a will, there's a way. I didn't know this about Tina Turner. I just found this out recently when she passed. Rest in peace, Tina Turner. Simply the best. And rest in peace and condolences to her family. But I did not know, when we watched the movie where she left Ike and she only had like 35 cents in her pocket and she was going to give her ring so she can have somewhere to stay at the hotel. I didn't know after that she was on welfare. She was on food stamps. She lived she lived in the ghetto where they were shooting every night. She was so afraid that she used to sleep in the closet, and she had a nanny, and the nanny would sleep with the kids so that the kids would be protected. But she was so afraid she used to sleep in the closet. That's how afraid she was. But she was on food stamps. So don't tell me you can't do it, because I was in a homeless shelter myself. And so don't tell me that you can't do it. You got to swallow your pride. And if you really want to leave, where there's a will, there's a way. There's a national domestic violence hotline. There's a crisis line for those of you that have suicidal ideations, that have homicidal ideations. If you can call 911, or you can go right to the ER. And when you go to the ER, you can let them know I am being abused. I'm afraid if I try to leave, what he may do or she may do to my children. And they'll ask you, do you feel safe to go home? No, I don't. And I don't have anywhere to go to. They will connect you. There are social workers in the hospital. They will connect you to resources. Where there's a will, there's a way. Some of you have to go into shelters, but you know what? The problem becomes that some of you are accustomed to a certain lifestyle. So you can't leave the lifestyle. So you won't leave the narcissist. You won't leave the comfort of your lifestyle. So you won't leave your narcissist, the narcissist. And you make justification. I'm going to leave. I'm going to get myself on my feet. I'm going to do this. Some of you guys are actually working toward it. Some of you guys are not. So you justify, but you don't want to leave the lifestyle. You don't want to leave the lifestyle that they've introduced you to, because you know that if you leave, you could be like Miss Tina Turner, and you could be 35 cents in your pocket and living on welfare with food stamps, living in the projects, but you starting over, and depending on where you go, you might have some peace and quiet. You don't know. Sometimes You have to let go what's in your hand in order to see what people will put in your other hand. You don't know what kind of help is out there. You'd be surprised. Some people won't help because of who you connected to. But once you disconnect from that person, you'd be surprised at how many people will help you. And the problem is that a lot of times when you let go, you keep going back. So people have kind of given up until you finally make up your mind as to what you're going to do. And if you won't make up your mind as to what you're going to do every time, that's like me being a therapist and a coach. There are some people that just won't let go. So every week they're talking about the exact same thing. And I have to let them know, you know what? I can't do anything to help you. When you make up your mind what you want to do, you call me back. Because your money is not that important to me than your health, your well-being, your freedom, and your mental stability. It's not that important. I don't want your money like that. Of course you're gonna pay me for my services, but the point is I don't have to have you there and every week we're talking the same thing. No, 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 no. You come because a lot of money you spending. So you come back to me when you've made up your mind. So you got to make up your mind as to what you're gonna do and stop justifying. Because what's happening is that cognitive dissonance. You have the truth, you have the facts, you're looking at your situation, you already see what's going on. You already know what's going on. You know in your heart, you say all the right things, but your emotions override your logic. Your emotions override wisdom. You get into your feelings and you get into your emotions, and I love him. I love her. What's love got to do with it? Because you need to get out. That's not even love. That's secondhand emotion. That's exactly what you're dealing with. So listen. I'm not gonna keep on talking and talk because I am tired tonight, y'all. I was up with the girls last night doing hair, trying to hang. I got 2 hours of sleep, so I didn't go to bed till 4 o'clock. Had to get right back up, get on my post, and do my duties. And so, just be real. If you give me about 10 minutes, give me 10 minutes, and I'm gonna answer some questions. Okay, let's answer some questions. If y'all have any questions, ask me some questions. They ask, and the police are at the hospital to take your statement. Right there. Who is this? Her Serene Highness. Go ahead, girl. But yes, once you tell them that you're afraid, the social workers are there, they will contact the police. The police is gonna be there to take you. You need a paper trail. You need a paper trail, ladies and gentlemen, because if you don't listen, when the doors open and you don't when you have a coach and the coach is telling you to do something, it's a 911 situation. Do it when they tell you to do it, because if you don't do it, that narcissist is going to do it instead. They'll beat you to the punch, especially if they find out what you're doing. They'll beat you to the punch. And then every time you go back, everything that they're learning from you and you did is what they turn around and do to you. So if you took the kids away, trust you me, they pull you back in, you go back, they take the kids from you. If you say that you're being abused or you're a danger, you want a restraining order, that what they'll do is if you don't hurry up and beat them to the punch, they'll turn around and do it to you. Whatever you say in the court, if you don't follow through, they'll turn around and use it against you. And a lot of people have failed at court cases and everything because they didn't follow through with what the coach was saying to them, because the coach, you have to remember, the coach has a 360 view of the game. And you have to, because you're in the middle of the game. The coach is looking from the outside in, and they can see the players. They can see the game. You see what I'm saying? And they're giving you tools to use. Even when you don't understand it, just follow the strategy that they're giving you. Follow the strategy and trust the strategy. You know that singing is not a part of the class. Right. Xnar has been hoovering with money, and that's how they do it. And they think you simple enough to bite, because if you don't have, a lot of times that's what they do. They dangle that money in front of you like a carrot. Thank you, Just Be Real. Y'all have any questions? You want to ask any questions? Listen, when you guys ask the question, please don't make it long story, long question. Because number one, people's comments are going by real fast. So if you got something really long, I can't read it, because by the time I start on the first line, it's all gone. Number two, some questions you may be asking me really requires you to make an appointment with me. Some of you guys are trying to get some free coaching and free therapy. But what you need to do is make an appointment with me so I can specialize on your particular case. Because your case, the answer to your situation may not be a general answer to everybody. And it may require me to get more information from you. Thank you so much, Just Be Real. But it may require more information that I need from you in order for me to give you an answer. Why does the main supply sometimes continue to stalk a former supplier who has fully disconnected? Well, that's not kind of in the vein that I'm in right now. So come on back to to what we were talking about tonight. That's not where I'm at right now. I got some videos on that. So you guys go look at my videos, okay? He's telling my granddaughter who's 12 that I'm bipolar. That's gaslighting, defamation of character. Well, defamation of character, and you need to go talk to a lawyer about that. Defamation of character is when they defame your character to a point where you can't get a job, and it messes with your finances, and messes with your reputation, within like you cannot sustain yourself anymore. And that right there will require legal assistance. You have to get legal assistance for that. What happens when the narc turns your child into a narc? Well, your child is a narc. That's what happens. They turn your child into a narcissist. Your child becomes a narcissist. That's what happens. You can contact me at Dr. Carmen Bryant at Outlook.com. Dr. Carmen Bryant at Outlook.com. And this is for you to make appointments. If you send me questions, I won't answer your questions, but I will give you my rates for coaching and to see whether you would like to schedule a coaching session with me. I don't answer questions on when you email me. If you send me questions, I don't answer questions because that is reserved for those people that pay for services for coaching. Um, well, the thing about it is you got to prove that it's false and how it's affecting you. You got to get a lawyer, so you got to prove how it's affecting you, how it's affecting your life, how it's affecting your ability to get a job, anything like that. Did you get fired or anything like that? So you would have to go talk to a lawyer about that. You have to get legal representation for that. You are so welcome, Pure Reality. King Jake said your husband is cheating on you. Talking about me because I'm not married. I'm just letting you know, honey. What? This fool. First of all, I ain't married. But so anyway, um, let's see. Uh, let's see. Thank you so much, just for putting all the information out there as well. Love your videos, very helpful. You look beautiful this evening as all. Thank you so much, Yogotron. Thank you so much. Oh, I got them. They blocked. I guess they were letting me know they felt sorry for me. They were just letting me know that my husband was cheating on me. And they were like, I'm sorry to let you know. Well, first of all, you're off because I ain't married. So there you go. So they're blocked now. So they can talk to somebody else. Uh, all right. Some things are just not meant to be shared. So when y'all share stuff, some things are just not meant to be shared, honey. Yeah. Some things just not meant to be shared, sweetheart. Hold on. Let me click down. Tell us some things are not meant to be shared. Some things is TMI, too much information, especially on a social media. Some that's not cute. That's not cute. Um, you're welcome, Miss Julie. The abuse is worse ever. I had to cut off cold turkey and run. Thank you for touching base on this. You're welcome. And I'm glad you got away. I'm glad you got away. Dusty knew and said boundaries. There you go. Absolutely. Okay, Tenor, but that's too much information. For us, that's entirely too much information. Some of that stuff is entirely too much information for us and too much information for putting it out there. You got to remember, you talking to a bunch of grown folks on here, okay? You're talking to professionals. A lot of these people are professionals, and some of the stuff that you posting is just that's unnecessary. That's weird, and that's petty and that's childish. Um, Many are telling me to take money without dealings. I'm not sure what that means, Miss Natalie. Um, Hi, Miss Valerie. How are you? Excuse me for me. I have to check my camera. But got any more questions? Y'all want to ask any more questions? Just be real. So don't play that game, right? If your child doesn't like him and can't tell something off, get out. If your child doesn't like him and can tell some things off, get out. Tell some things. You got to go back and restate that. To realize the person just does not care. That's hard. Yeah. Yep. That's a hurdle. Yep. The realization when when you come out of these situations, that brain fog is going to lift. And in your heart you're hoping that that person still cares about you. Maybe they care about you because you're looking at them as a regular normal person. And then finally you realize that something is totally off. Something is just not right. Some of you have watched these videos and my mother's videos and Telsha with the T on NPD's video, and you realize, okay, it just dawned on me that I'm dealing with a narcissist. The heartbreaking thing out of all that, and sometimes you question over and over again because I saw him do this, I saw him do that, and it really breaks your heart. Like, they never loved me, especially as an adult. When you look at your own parents, you're like, they never had the capacity to love me. And to think you've been with a person for 10, 15, 20, 30 years and you gave your life to this person because you love them, you really love them, to realize that they don't have the capacity to love you, that they never loved you, that can break somebody's heart terribly, horribly, horribly. And in my course that I did, processing through grief and loss after narcissist abuse, believe it or not, grief can kill you. There is this syndrome called Takasobo syndrome that mimics a heart attack, and what is called the broken heart syndrome. And you have to be careful when you're stuck in grief, or when you have grief compiled on top of grief, that you don't have the symptoms of a heart attack. Go get it checked by a doctor, because there are some people that have died of a broken heart. My grandfather died of a broken heart, but they've died of a broken heart. And so you got to be very careful, especially, when you're leaving the narcissist. This type of grief and loss is not a normal grief and loss. That's why I encourage you guys, go to my academy. It's Ona dash, I think I have a post it on my, if you go to my community tab on YouTube, my academy is actually, there's a link to my academy. And if you go to Facebook under my profile, there's a link to my academy. It's Ona Academy. But there's a link to my academy, and go and watch, go to the processing through grief and loss after narcissist abuse, because some people can die of a broken heart. And what happens is that if you already have cardiovascular issues, or if you're over the age of 60 with cardiovascular issues, you are more prone to a heart attack when you go through this type of grief and loss. And this type of grief and loss is not normal. For a narcissist, when you go through this with a narcissist, it's not normal whatsoever. It's not normal grief and loss. And there are 16 different types of grief. And some of you need to go. There is delayed grief. So some of you wondering, like, it's been 6 months, I haven't been through no grief, and then it hits you a year later. And you wondering, what in the world is wrong with me? And it really hits you. And you got to be careful, because when your immune system is hit like that, the stress of grief, the stress level is so high, it tears down your immune system where you can't even fight common colds. But go and register for that course. It is on, my link is on YouTube community tab and on Facebook. And I think I also, yeah, and on Instagram. Under my profile, there's a link to my academy. It shows you what classes are coming up. And it also shows you the class I already have posted. And I have another class I'm posting this week that I just did a week or two ago about, breaking codependency. You got to understand what codependency is. Do they ever think about things after the fact that they do to hurt people? No, because it doesn't benefit them, because it's never their fault anyway. So they never really think about what they did to hurt people, because of the fact that they're moving on to the next person. And then how can a person feel remorseful about something when it's never their fault? They never take accountability. They never take responsibility. So, okay, and if you tell them they're hurt and you're really hurt and you're crying, they'll tell you all the things that you did to hurt them. They're going to overthrow that, because those emotions, that doesn't benefit them. Yes, this is exactly what I'm going through. This grief is like no other. Yogatron, I promise you this. And you can ask Just Be Real. She was there. And then Miss Atkins, she's over here on her name is Kay Atkins. Her name under here says Kay Atkins. Just ask them because they were in the class, and ask them how much it benefited them. But I promise you, I think this is something that you may need to help you. Is it normal for an adult child not to care if their narcissistic parent dies, or for that adult child to wish that they died? Hey, that's a part of my grief and loss class too. Who is this? I did that question that you just asked me, Jules. I actually addressed that in my grief and loss. That is a part of my grief and loss course. Go register. It's only $99. Go register. It's a whole hour, like 58 minutes, something like that, with a workbook. But go register for that course. And I actually address that in the course. And some of you guys will be surprised that some of the feelings that you're having, that you feel like I can't tell anybody, I'm afraid, I'm ashamed to tell anybody I'm thinking like this, is a part of the grief and loss. And it'll give you a relief like, oh, I'm so glad someone normalized that for me. We have to learn to be okay with not getting closure from these folks when they leave. Let them leave. You're not going to get closure from a narcissist. You do have to get your own. Ms. Atkins said the class was great. It was awesome. Awesome class. See, I got some faithful folks that come. And usually what I do is when I release the course and invite you guys in for the course, I also get feedback from you guys before I post the class. The next one got a few little typos. We were talking about the perfectionism and the meticulousness, but there's some typos in my slides, but they told me go ahead and post the class. It was a good class. So I get feedback from you guys as well. One Love said, great price. Thank you. Let's see. They like to mirror you. Absolutely. It's not that they like to mirror you. They have to mirror you. They don't have a personality of their own. So they have to mirror you. Incognita Jackson, how are you? One moment, Carmen. Oh, you talking to her. Oh, okay. I missed it. When is your next class again? I missed it. I have a new one coming. I have not scheduled it. Usually I do it like in 2 week increments to give me a moment to edit the last one and then upload it. Thank you. But I usually it's like 2 week increments unless I have something else going on. I had the flu last week, so I didn't have a chance to prepare for a class this coming up week. And so I have to edit the last one and I have to do the workbook so I can upload the workbook. And then once I get that done, then I go to the next one. I don't like to pile it up, like have no chance to edit the last one and put the workbook up and everything. I got another one that I got to do. So I try not to overwork myself. And so I just have to get this one up. I should have that one up tomorrow. And then this week I should have posted the next time I have another class. Okay. And I do post it all the time. I post them all the time whenever I release it. Just look on my Facebook page, look on my YouTube channel, look on my LinkedIn, and look at my community tab. I usually post it in my community tab. You'll see the next class that comes up. So I haven't done it yet. So just let me edit my last course so I can upload it. And like I said, I usually get feedback. They let me know whether, these ladies have been awesome. They've been there to give me feedback. So I just have to cut out all the conversations so that you'll get the class. I'm afraid I would act like he did to me to the next person I get into a relationship with. So I sabotage it or won't try to get too close now. Well, it's not time for you to be in a relationship. That means it's time for you to do some self-reflection. You need some therapy. You need a coach to help you through. And the hardest thing for a lot of us is to look at ourselves. And a lot of times to look at ourselves, we have picked up on a lot of traits as a self-defense mechanism because we were protecting ourselves in that narcissistic relationship. So we end up doing some of the same things that they're doing, but we have feelings and we care. And it hurts us to do things like that because it's out of character. And when someone addresses that or bring that to your attention, number one, some of us can be hurt. And then some of us are embarrassed and ashamed of our behaviors. That lets you know that you got some type of empathy because you don't want to hurt people the way that they hurt people. You know what it feels like to be hurt like that. So you don't want to do that. That lets you know you have empathy. You're not a narcissist. I feel like I'm dealing with some grief. I'm telling you, Fifi, you'll get a lot out of this course. Just go look at my community tab. Go look at my profile, all my profiles, and the link is right there. And when you click on the my academy, it shows you the courses that are coming up and the courses that are time. Okay. And the courses. And I think the grief and loss, a lot of you are struggling with grief and loss. A lot of you are dealing with grief. But a lot of you are just thinking grief from the loss, but you have no idea 16 different types of grief. And then some of you are feeling a certain way about wanting them to die. They died. You don't have any emotions associated with it. So you're confused. You think you're wrong. Oh my God, have I turned into a narcissist? Do I still have empathy? No, some of that stuff is very normal. And some of you guys are going through more than just one type of grief. And you have to go. And I'm telling you, I guarantee you, this is going to help you. If you go to that course, I'm telling you, it's going to help you. And I didn't just bring that to you from a therapist. I had personal experience too. But it's professionally written, and I think you're going to enjoy it. Mm. All right, so I am getting ready to go because Just For Real told me it's time, and she's very adamant about me getting off and going to sleep when I'm tired. And I am tired, so thank God I came on a little early, so I'm not yawning and carrying on while I'm on camera. But listen, Miss Jules, I think you're gonna get something out of it. I'm telling you, I think you're gonna get something out of it. I got good feedback from it, and I'm happy with it. And listen, please, some of you guys, I want to see you guys. Don't wait till the last minute to buy your tickets because there's a cutoff time with those tickets to the conference. And I don't want you guys waiting till the last minute. Sometimes you guys wait till the last minute where I've already it's already full, and I can't get you in there. And so I really, really want you to be at the conference in Los Angeles, California. I mean, come on, you get to meet Telsha with the T on MPD. She's hilarious, and we gonna keep it laughing. And so, and you're gonna meet my mom. You're gonna meet. I'm telling you, the people that you're going to meet are off the chain, top notch people, researchers, pastors that speak to you in reference to the spiritual aspect of narcissism and how it affects you. A therapist, a domestic violence advocate. You can't add. And then the price, I'm telling you, you're not going to pay for what you're getting this conference for. That's not what you're going to pay for. That's like a $5,000 conference plus. $5,000 conference plus, especially when you're sitting along the mega minds that are there. That's $5,000 plus for a conference like that, and I'll make it affordable for you guys to come. Thank you so much, Miss Karen. Thank you so much, Miss Carmen. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. But yes, so I'm going to thank you so much, Miss KK. Thank you. That's my KK. I love. Ooh, if you guys can hear her talk, I know she grinning right now as I'm speaking. I'm just closing my. She talk like this right here because she's from Georgia. I like to hear her talk. I love to hear Miss K talk because she talk like she come from Georgia. I love it. I love it. She just a Georgian. I love the way she talk. Y'all, if you can hear her talk, see, that's what you guys are missing when you come to these live classes. You get to hear her talk. I knew you were laughing. Boy, I love to hear her talk. I can just sit and listen to her talk. I'm like, oh, I love to hear her talk. So see, you guys are missing it. All these characters and personalities that we have in these courses. Now, when I'm doing the course, when you're just doing the course, you don't get to talk to me because I'm just doing the course. But later on, if you there's another 90, well, it's not another fee. $60 gets you the course. That doesn't get you to interact with me because I'm recording the course as I'm doing it. So you're a part of the recording while I'm recording the course. And then afterward, instead of paying 60, you pay the 99. Then afterward, there's another hour where we get to interact with each other. You get the support, question and answers. We go in detail about your situation. So really, it's almost like getting a coaching, a group coaching, at $99. You can't beat that. You're not going to get that anywhere else. And then once I upload it, it's $99 for the course. Now, the only way that the course is going to be more expensive is if the course takes longer than an hour for me to do, and if it has additional modules. The parenting one has additional modules, like 10 modules, I think it is. And so, and that one has really, that one's been a doozy. That one's taken me a while to do. So you already know it's going to be good. Yeah. From Gambia, shalom to you too. Yeah. The T on MPD and relationships on YouTube. Yes, she is on YouTube. Absolutely. Well, she will be in person in California. If you guys would like to meet her, she will be in person My pastor, those of you guys know, Apostle Helen Sadler, your destiny helper, she's going to be there in person. My big sister, Kathy Gibson, my life is intentional. She's going to be there. Dr. Paula Tucker, who is a traumatic brain injury researcher. We're going to be talking about the traumatic brain injury you go through when you're dealing with these narcissists. My sister Bridget Griffin, she's a domestic violence advocate for the Victims First program here in the great Seattle area. So when I'm talking about you getting top-notch people, you're getting top-notch people. And those of you that are doing VIP, you get to hear Telsha talk, you get to hear Tasha Leland, Confessions of a Christian Girl. And listen, when we get together, we like to laugh. We gonna laugh and cut up and take pictures. We and for VIP when we do the meet and greet, we get to touch and hug and sign books and I love messing with y'all. So I love messing with y'all. I like going around the room and messing with y'all. So we have a good time. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, this is the best investment. I'm telling you. And then my mother has a conference coming up 11th through the 14th in Chicago, Illinois. The price has changed because the $1,500 included the hotel room and then the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Check out Monday. However, the price has changed. It's only $750, and we're doing the because you get to eat, so you're gonna have lunch. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we're checking out on. Actually, we're checking out on Tuesday. We're checking out on Tuesday, and some of you guys check out on Monday. But Monday we're doing a tour of the city. So wait until tomorrow. Go back to destinyhelper.ticketleap.com, and the prices have changed on there. So wait till tomorrow to go on Destiny Helper ticketleap.com, and you'll see the new price that's on there. And then you'll just be responsible for your own hotel and of course your flight. And you're just paying the conference fee. And for me, it's the conference fee. I'll put the link up so you can get your own hotel. Okay. Hers is destinyhelper.ticketleap.com. Wait till tomorrow so that we can change the pricing on there. And mine is overcoming narcissist abuse.ticketleap.com. And you can do general session or you can do VIP, which includes general session. And then we're going to formal wear at 7 o'clock. We're coming in with our gowns. We're going to be looking like queens and kings. And if you want to, child, bring a crown. I might just bring a crown to wear a crown for that evening. I might have me a little crown on, one about this big, because we queens and kings. So that's up to you. If you want to bring a crown, we're going to do a crown. But we're wearing formal that evening. We're going to have dinner, and we're going to have a good time. We're going to have a good mouthful of food, laughing. I'm telling you, you got to be careful. Make sure you laugh before you eat because you're going to choke. Because I'm telling you, the people that are coming, awesome people and funny. And funny. Tell you, we're going to laugh. That's what we're going to do. We're going to laugh. And my sister coming too, Kathy Gibson. Oh, Lord, y'all ain't met her yet. Oh, oh, yeah, she going to make you holler. Oh, yeah. And all of us getting together. Oh, boy. Listen, you're going to enjoy yourself. I'm telling you. And it's called Unpackaging the Trauma. Unpackaging the trauma. And you need laughter when you're dealing. Bring tissue. Bring lots of tissue. I'm telling you, bring tissue because you're going to be hitting some roots, some deep roots at the conference. July 29th, the Sonesta at LAX. If you're not ticketed, you can't come in. But just get your ticket online. If you need to make payments, if you want to make payments to your tickets, email me at drcarmenbryant@outlook.com. So if you would like to make tickets, if you would like to make payments for those tickets, email me and let me know, and I will send you an invoice so you can make payments. Okay. So if you can't afford to get it all at one time, email me, drcarmenbryant@outlook.com, and let me know. I will send you a invoice, and you can make payments on there. Okay. It does have a cutoff, but you can make payments. Okay. And I really want to see you guys in LAX because the next day we're going to what was it? Madame Two. Come on, y'all tell me what it is again. Madame Tussauds Museum, Madame Tussauds Wax Museum, and we want to do a tour of the Stars home. I want to push it and go to Universal Studios, but I may save that for my daughter. I may come back with my daughter and go to Universal Studios. But we can make this a fun day the next day. We can go out to eat, get some. It's Toussaint or Tussauds? Somebody said Toussaint. Toussaint. Madame Toussaint. Okay. But that's what I like to do the next day. So we can go out and we can hang together, So Tussauds Wax Museum. Okay, Tussauds. Tucson. Okay. So look, the meet and greet that Friday, the that is not Madame Trudeau. That ain't it. But so the Friday is the meet and greet for the VIPs. The Saturday is the conference from 8 to 5, and then additional VIP 7-11. And then that Saturday we can go out and do a little tour and enjoy ourselves, get something to eat, enjoy the California sun, maybe even go over to the beach. What's the beach over there? Malibu. If you guys know the area, especially we got Telsha with us, maybe we can go over to Malibu somewhere, but we can spend the whole day together and enjoy ourselves. Okay. So thank you guys once again for being here tonight. Thank you for always supporting me. Remember, go to YouTube, Facebook, go to where else? Facebook and Instagram. Look in my bio. Look up at the top at my profile. There's a link to my academy. And in the academy, you'll see what classes is already available and what classes are pending that are coming. And y'all give me this week the codependency class. I got to edit it tomorrow, put the workbook together. And those of you that were actually at the class and you did not get a workbook, I'm going to send you the workbook once I'm finished with the workbook. Other than that, I'm going to post it onto the academy so you guys will have it when you sign up for the course. You'll have the workbook too. Thank you guys once again. I still haven't figured out the Clubhouse thing. I will eventually. But thank you guys so much for being here with me. Thank you for always supporting me. And you said the narcissist gave you the money to come to your conference. Child, you better come on. We might help you get on out of that. Come on, Kia. Come on. If you can't do it in person, you can do it online. But Kia, if you could come, he gave you the money. Come on. He probably don't know he a narcissist. So come on. Come on out, Queen. Come on out and meet us. Hang with the queens, honey. Queens and kings. Hang with kings and queens. Something gonna rub off on you. I'm telling you. You're gonna change, Miss Kia. I promise you ain't gonna be the same. I promise. Good night, Ohana. Good night, Ohana. Ohana family. Ohana. Thank you, Miss Karen. I can't wait till we come back. I can't wait till we come back. This time I'm actually gonna swim in the ocean. I ain't swim last time. Miss Bridget almost fell in while I was recording. That was funny, but I'm gonna swim this time. Thank you. My VIP is not sold out yet. Midnight Prepper, not yet. It's not sold out yet. It's still open for registration. So if you go to overcomingnarcissistabuse.ticketleap.com, you can still get a ticket. If you want to make payments on it, email me at drcarmenbryant@outlook.com, and I will send you a invoice, and you can make payments on it. Okay, there's a cutoff for it, but you'll be able to make payments on it. Okay, I really want to see you guys out there. I'm gonna have me some fun, honey. We're gonna laugh. If we're going to bring some crowns, if you want to bring some crowns, we can wear some crowns that night. Don't be ashamed. Don't be afraid. Don't be scared. I might bring me mine. I might bring me a crown too. But I love you guys. You guys have a wonderful evening. Thank you guys for always being there. And thank you so much, Just Be Real, for an awesome job that you always do. And Miss Karen, I know the time is different over there. Thank you so much for coming in your busy time and your busy day and late in the evening. Well, early in the evening. And thank you so much. I appreciate you, Miss Karen. I love you. Thank you so much. Tucson's. Pronounce it Tucson's. Tucson. They said Tuso. And I love Hawaii too. Lord knows I do. Okay, now, the real deal. Thank you so much. You guys have a good evening, okay? Good night, everybody. Funny, because my light just turned off. Thank you, guys. Good night, everybody.